All right, everyone. I just got back a few weeks ago from a big, huge conference in Miami, Florida. It was with the Women in Retail Leadership Conference. And so there were C-suite leaders from all over the country, from big, huge corporations. I'm talking like, the limited corporation, big, huge corporations to small startups as well, too. And it was just really interesting. I had the opportunity to talk to them all, but I had several smaller startup businesses that wanted to talk to me about marketing and where they were and all of that fun stuff. And one in particular had such an interesting story. This woman that I had met, the owner, the founder, incredibly sharp, super talented woman who has made millions in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay. Lots of money, right? And she had this idea. She and her daughter had this idea for a product, and they have spent over $500,000 starting this company the product is geared towards girls. Okay. She had the product developed, had spent thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on influencers to help promote the product, more thousands of dollars on consultants and marketing firms to help launch the product as well too. And she was just so beyond frustrated because she's just like, okay, I've got this great website. I've done all of the things that everybody has told me to do, and I'm not seeing a return on my investment. What the heck am I doing wrong? And I'm telling you, like, you could see it in this woman's eyes. She was so beyond frustrated. She feels so convicted in this product, and she and her daughter have done tons of research, and they know that there is a gap in the marketplace for this particular product, but they have just been banging their heads up against a wall going, okay, I know this is so good. Why isn't anybody buying it? Like, what's the deal? We've paid the influencers, we've done the ads, we've done, all of the things that we've been told to do. And I mean, oh my gosh, does this resonate with you? Because if you're a business owner, you have likely been sold the SEO packages, the luxury magazine ads. And, but again, I go back to the whole, my first episode on this whole podcast series was, if your messaging isn't clear, your marketing doesn't really matter. And you all, it's so true. If you don't know who you're talking to, if you don't know what that unique message is, then all of the money, all of the time, all of the countless hours of just, again, beating your head up against a wall, it's going to be all for naught. Okay. You have got to figure out who you're messaging to. What message do they need to receive in order to buy the thing, make the appointment, click the Calendly link, you name it, whatever your call to action is. Your person has got to know that that's what you want them to do. And you've got to talk to them in such a way to where they feel compelled to go, yes, I want to buy the thing, right? Okay, so let me go back to my entrepreneur that I was talking to, my startup. So when I asked her, again, she has a product that she's selling towards, younger girls. So like preteen girls, 11, 12 years old or so, 10 to 12. When I asked her who her client actually was, she said, well, it's the mom who's buying the product for the daughter. And I don't know, I'm raising my hand here in my closet alone, but I have a 12-year-old daughter getting ready to be 13. And let me tell you guys, she comes to me telling me what she wants to have, right? I don't say, oh, I'm going to buy you this cute outfit without consulting her first. So I told this woman, I was just like, well, I'm going to push back and say, your client is not the mama, is not the mom who's 35, 45, 47 years old. It's not that person. Your client is that 10 to 12-year-old girl. You've got to sell her. It's got to be cool. It's got to be the latest, greatest thing. Your messaging needs to reflect how a friend of hers would be talking to her. And I looked, and it was really interesting. I was like, okay, so do you have a TikTok page? Oh, Lord, y'all, she did have a TikTok page. And it had one post on it. And that caption was written by, I'm just going to call her somebody like me, a 47-year-old woman who is writing a post for another 47-year-old woman to see. It was not geared towards that 10 to 12-year-old girl. And I'm like, boom, chakalaka. That is the problem. Your special sauce, is coming from, it's going from mama to mama, not daughter to daughter, not peer to peer. And so that messaging is totally off. And I tell you what, oh my gosh, when I told her this, I was like, well, actually, your client's a 10 to 12-year-old girl, and your messaging doesn't reflect that at all. It reflects a mama talking to a mama. Her eyes just got as big as silver dollars. She was like, oh my God, like nobody's ever said that to me before. And it was just a really eye-opening moment for me because, it's so funny, you all. I work in this space all the time in marketing and messaging. And you just, I feel like I say the same things over and over again, like, know your client. Who are they specifically? Who is she? What do they need to hear from you? How are they going to be emotionally connected to your product or service that you're selling? But oh my gosh, like I cannot preach it enough. You really do need to know who it is that you're talking to and what message they need to hear in order to buy the thing or book the appointment or whatever the thing is. Okay. So the problem that my business owner, my startup, had when I was talking with her, a couple of things. First of all, like I said earlier, this person, who wants her product is a preteen girl, right? And so the caption and videos need to be geared towards a preteen girl, not marketing to the mother. That's first and foremost. I mean, again, the perfect client was someone very different than what she thought it was. Just because the mother is the one who's actually buying the product, we all know that kids, they influence those buying decisions, right? And so if your kid comes to you saying, I want you to buy this thing for me, they're coming to you with a specific request, with a specific brand, a size, a certain color. They're going to tell you all of the things. Yes, you're the one who's ultimately buying it. Yes, you're the one who is going to say yes or no, we are or not going to buy this thing or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's your kid who is influencing that buying decision. So the perfect client is the preteen kid. Okay. So you must know who you're talking to in order to get the response that you're looking for. Again. Okay. The other thing that I saw in this woman's business model is that she had no consistency on social media. Okay. So, and especially on TikTok, like if you're marketing a product to preteen anybody, you need to be on TikTok, period, end of story. Right. I mean, we know this. But I don't care what platform you choose as your primary platform, you have got to be consistent. And there was only one TikTok post. And it's like, you cannot post and ghost. You just can't put something out into the world, hope that it's going to land, hope it's going to stick, and assume that people are going to buy from one post. It does not work that way. Okay. If you want to grow your audience, the long game means that you must plan your content and be consistent with posting and sending it out, period, end of story. So 2 big key takeaway moments here with talking with this startup company was, number 1, you've got to know who the heck that you're talking to. And number 2, once you decide what that message, what that marketing is going to look like for you and your business, you have got to be consistent. You've got to plan ahead. Y'all, let me tell you about planning ahead. We're gearing up and getting into summertime here very, very soon. And I've got a lot of vacations and a lot of trips planned, and I've got kids at home. And you know as well as I do that our schedules are going to be crazily knocked out of whack, right? And so the only way that we can stay true to our business and keep consistent with it, we've got to plan ahead. Y'all, kid you not, I just planned out the next 3 months worth of content in about a 24 to 36 hour period. I'm getting everything kind of pushed out and done and that kind of thing. I'm going to be, re-sharing some posts from a year ago and that kind of thing as well too. But nevertheless, I've got a plan for my content. I've got a plan for my email marketing. I've got a plan, period. Because if you don't have a plan, then you will absolutely not stay consistent. Okay. And so consistency is key here. Knowing who you're talking to is key here. So I urge you, whether you've been in business for a long time or you're a startup and you're just getting started, then you need to do two big things. And again, I'm going to repeat this one more time for the people in the back. Number 1, who is the person that you're actually selling to? Like, really, who is the one who's going to either influence the buying decision or buy the thing? And your marketing, your messaging needs to reflect just that, who that person is specifically. And I'm going to point you back to episode number 1 when I'm talking about messaging. I actually give you some, we talk about demographics and psychographics, and I give you some specific pointers as to what to look for. So go back to episode number 1 and dig in to, and that was a pretty quick episode, 15, 20 minutes or whatever, but dig in and listen into the really good information that I tell you to research when you're thinking about who your perfect client is. Okay. So do that for me. That'll truly, truly help you. So think about who your perfect client is. And number 2, be consistent. Like, you've got to be consistent. You've got to plan ahead. And I tell you what, if you need help figuring this all out and planning ahead, I've got a really good freebie that I would love to give to you. And I'm going to post this in the show notes as well too. And I'll make sure that it's linked in the link tree in my bio as well, so you can grab it. But it's a 30-day social media and email marketing planning tool. It gives you all of the prompts. Like, I give you everything. All you have to do is just fill it in with your particular information. So I'm going to post that in the show notes below. And I'd love for you to use this tool. At least just check it out and see if it's something that you feel like you can modify to meet your own needs. Okay. And until next time, think about who your perfect client is and be consistent, and we'll talk soon.